Our second speaker is here. So let us welcome the second speaker of the day. It's great pleasure for me to introduce you about the second speaker of the day, Dr. Vikas, hassija, who is going to talk to us about how NFTs are revolutionizing the blockchain ecosystem. NFT are non-fungible tokens. How these digital objects are revolutionizing the blockchain ecosystem would be discussed by our second speaker of the day. Dr. Vikas Hassija is a postdoctoral researcher at National University of Singapore. He is the founder and CEO of healthcare startup named Med Supervision Private Limited. He is also acting as a blockchain consultant for a running taxi startup Drive Technologies. At NUS, he is working in the area of privacy preservation using blockchain and federated learning. I welcome you, sir. It's nice to see you.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Please start the
uh,
session.
yeah, thank you. So, thank you everyone for allowing me to be the part of this program. I'm just sharing my screen. Please let me know if it's visible. So my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I will just start with a brief introduction. So I am right now working as a postdoctoral researcher at NUS Singapore. So the project in which I am working is the Encrypt project. So it is NUS Center of Research in Privacy Technologies. So apart from that, I am also working on my own startup, which is Med Supervision, and I am also working as a blockchain consultant for Drive Technologies. So it is a running app in Bangalore. So like we have Ola, Uber. So similarly in Bangalore, this company has 10,000 taxis. So but it is not based on some centralized server. So it is completely based on blockchain, where the riders and the drivers can communicate with each other directly based on smart contracts. All the calculations, all the price calculation, and all the routes are decided based on smart contracts, and there is no centralized server in Drive Technologies. So I am consulting them in the areas of blockchain. So now moving ahead to our topic for the day. So like I have kept NFT as the topic for the day. So but we will not be discussing much in going much into the technical details of NFT, like how NFTs work, or like how NFTs are created. So the idea of today's discussion is basically like how NFTs are changing the ecosystem of the blockchain. So that was the title of that talk. So I will give some idea about what NFTs are and how do they work, but basically the motivation or the complete talk is centered around different projects. Like I will be discussing about the ecosystem, like how it started, like before Bitcoin, what was the ecosystem, then what changed after Bitcoin came, then what changed after Ethereum came, then what was the need of introducing NFT, how initially how people looked about NFTs, and how like they are being used today. So this is the complete journey, like I will be discussing. So then in between, like we will be discussing, like major focus will be on NFTs only for sure. So why is everyone investing on NFTs, and what is the future of NFT, and how is NFT different from normal Bitcoin or any other normal cryptocurrency? So most of you might have heard about NFT, at least the full form. Everyone must be knowing, those who are studying blockchain or those who are working in the area of blockchain. So the full form is non-fungible token. So we will be discussing like what does this mean, like what exactly is a non-fungible, what is non-fungible, and then what is token, and how do we use them, and how do they actually work. So fungible itself means the like easy word for fungible, easy replacement for fungible is non-exchangeable or non-replaceable. So something that we cannot replace. So if I give a very crude and very simple example for a layman to understand,
the meaning of NFT. So like if you have a currency note, INR currency note of 2000, so you can exchange it for four currency notes of 500. So you can easily happily give that 2000 currency note to anyone, and in return if he is ready to give you four currency notes of 500, so that 2000 currency note and those four 500 currency notes hold the same value. So that 2000 currency note is easily replaceable with any four currency notes which have the value of 500. So such thing which you can easily replace with any other thing of like equal amount of equal like potency, so that is called as fungible. So easily exchangeable or easily, so all currency notes are fungible or they are easily exchangeable. But there are certain you order on Amazon and you get some product and there is some issue in the size or there is some issue in the product quality, and you place an exchange. So you get another product, same product with a different size or different quality, and you are happy to exchange your product. So all these products that we buy from market, there are thousands of t-shirts that we buy, like they are same color, same brand, and everyone is buying different products, so these are exchangeable. Like, so but there are some products which are non-exchangeable or non-fungible. Simple example is your house. Like you are staying in some house that may be a 3 bhk house, and some other friend of yours might also be staying in a 3 bhk house, same size, same square feet, but it is not exchangeable. Like you cannot simply give your house keys to that person and you can take the house keys of that person. So these are not easily exchangeable. So even though the things are similar, but there is some emotional attachment, there is some other things associated apart from the value, apart from the monetary value of that product. There are some other things associated with that product which makes it non-exchangeable or non-fungible. Or other easy example for non-fungible is like people are fond of buying, like they have different like role models or different stars, like superstars, like film stars or maybe like sports stars, and there are some belongings of those people, like the t-shirt that they wore, or like the bat that they used during playing for World Cup. And those, the actual value of that product is not that much. Like actual value might be 2000, 3000, 4000 for a particular bat, but in market those products are sold for like lakhs or maybe sometimes even crores of rupees. And there are people who are actually like attached to that uniqueness of that product. They are not attached to that particular product as such, but the uniqueness associated with that product is what attracts them, and due to that uniqueness the product is being sold for that much amount. So this is the like basic crude definition of non-fungible. I have not yet talked about tokens, so I will talk in further slides about tokens and how things are non-fungible. But I think I have clearly explained what non-fungible here defines. So I will just read it out. So NFTs are digital illustrations of distinctive assets. So these assets are distinctive. So the big difference is that the value of cryptocurrency is purely economic. So what is the difference between Bitcoin and NFT is, so in Bitcoin it is exchangeable. So the value is purely economic. So its value comes from its utility as a currency or an investment. But on the other hand, NFTs have both economic and non-economic value. So they have an economic value which is not so much, but they have a fairly high non-economic value. So that makes NFTs different from normal cryptocurrency or any other like normal currency also. So the usage of NFT is growing like in past few years. And like if you, like many of you are reading blockchain related news or some articles, so you must be seeing some posts where it is saying that this NFT got sold for $17,000 billion, or this is the amount of this NFT. And this is a simple video, a clip of someone playing basketball, or some GIF someone created and it got sold for 17.6 billion. So these news, like those who don't know much about NFTs, so they get shocked like hearing such news. So gradually we will be discussing like this was the initial trend of NFT, but now the trend of NFT has changed a lot, which is actually disrupting the ecosystem of blockchain. So these are some of the facts which are like commonly known in news about NFTs. So the most valuable NFT is $91.8 million. So one of the Nyan CAD GIF was sold for $590,000 worth of cryptocurrency in 2021. So some tweets are also created as NFTs. So someone creates a tweet and it like he sells it as a that tweet as an NFT, and someone sold that tweet for $2.9 million. So similarly there are many different examples, and the most shocking fact is more than 70% of Americans still don't know what an NFT is. So although like things are happening around NFT, but the fact is that people actually don't know what NFT is, and even if they know what NFT is, they don't know the actual power behind NFT, and what like they feel that it is only for the very high class of people, those who are already millionaires and billionaires, and they are uselessly spending here there these amounts, and that is only for top 1% 2% of the people, and other 98% of the population of the world has nothing to do with NFT. But that is not the real case, at least as of now. So since 1 year, NFT has changed a lot, and it is not only related to artistic work or some uniqueness related to some work. So I will be discussing that how. So till now we have discussed how what NFT is, and how NFTs are being used by top 2% population of the world. But later we will be discussing that what is there in NFT for other 98% of the population, like how they can use NFTs, how they can benefit from NFTs, and what are the different use cases, what are the different project ideas. Basically I will be discussing many project ideas where we can like work together and we can build different like products, or we can even apply for different fundings to develop those like projects or products that are around NFTs. So I will be discussing many ideas in detail so that we can further collaborate and we can discuss on how we can work together. So this is the idea where the other 98% of the population comes into picture, is turning physical objects into NFTs. So till now, till 2019, the idea was that only digital objects, only some GIFs, only some of your videos or some of your music clips can be converted into NFT, as they are digital and they can get a digital token, and then you can sell them, and only top 2% of people who are interested in those things, they can purchase them. But recently in 2019, one company came with a proposal that you can even turn your some physical objects into NFTs. So one of the most notable development in NFTs is the ability to turn physical real life objects into NFTs. And as mind blowing as this sounds, it is completely true. So anything can be imagined, can be anything that you can imagine can be turned into an NFT. So the couch on which you are sitting, or if it has some weird pattern and you want to turn it, you feel that it is unique, so you can turn it into an NFT. And but the point that you should take care when like delving into the wonderful world of digital art and NFTs is that you don't try to turn some branded products, so those who are coming from some brand. So if you have some bag of some branded company, it has a particular design, so then you cannot turn it into an NFT. It should be your own design, your own creativity, then you can turn it into NFTs. So another like very beautiful example that is not written on the slides is you all are in Delhi NCR only, so you must be knowing that the prices of real estate, they are increasing day by day. So even a small 2 BHK 3 BHK flat, if you want to purchase, so in a like decently good locality, and even if it is 20 years, 15 years old, still it cost you 1 to 1.5 cr in INR. So the common mass of people who cannot afford that much amount, but still they have some savings, they have some 30-40 lakhs that they want to invest in real estate. So they have only like one option left, that they go into the outskirts of the city where there is no development, there are no roads, and there is some like vague uh, commitment that after 20 years, after 20 like 25 years, like this area will be developed, and that time the value of that property will be in crores. So you invest your 40 lakh right now and wait for 20 years, and then you can get some returns. And there is no surety, the builders, that those who are developing that area, so you don't know, like so people are investing but they are still fearful. So another idea that real estate is now coming up with is virtual property. So if you have heard about this concept of purchasing virtual property, so what does that mean is, like there is some, like in a very very posh area, there is some mall, some huge building is getting developed, some very reliable builder is developing that building, and there are different floors. So where you definitely know that on some floor Tanishq will come, on some floor Reliance will come, some floor some other big supermarket will come, and you know that area is easily approachable and it will surely run. And if you want to purchase a shop or small office also in that building, then it's beyond your budget. So what you can do is you can invest virtually in that building. So what does that mean? So there might be some like 20,000 square feet of big hall which they are planning to give to Tanishq. So and no one is capable of purchasing that entire 20,000 square feet. So they divide that 20,000 square feet into small 100 square feet or 50 square feet patches that are virtually, they are not like physically they are not separated with some doors, or that area is not yours. You cannot use it for your personal usage, you cannot rent it out to anyone whom you want, but virtually that area belongs to you. So you get registered, proper all documents are created for that virtual space for you, and like you get that space in your name, but you cannot use it personally. So the builder will rent it out to some reliable organization, and whatever rent that get for that space, that will be divided equally based on the amount of virtual space you had purchased. So and you will get the share of that rent. So one benefit is that the rent is for sure, and if some organization like some supermarket comes in that place for 10 years, 15 years, then you can be 100% sure that it will stay there for long. Like if some like Reliance Mart or some such brand comes, and then surely it will not keep shifting after 10 years. So they will try to stay there for a long 50 years of time, and you will keep getting the rent for that virtual space. So this is where blockchain and NFTs are coming into picture for common mass of people also. Like I will give another gaming example also, but this is a real estate example where these small patches, like these small patches are non-fungible tokens, so non-replaceable. That although like you have purchased only 100 square feet of land or 50 square feet of land, but that is non-replaceable. So that piece of land is your piece of land, and that is associated with some token. That token is saved on blockchain, and that is like everyone of you know that the whatever data you save on a blockchain, that cannot be deleted, and as old the data becomes, that much difficult it becomes to replace it or delete it. So same is the concept. So NFT also uses the concept of blockchain only, but this is non-replaceable. So the blockchain cryptocurrency is replaceable, but NFT is blockchain only, currency only, but non-replaceable. So if that patch of land is associated with some digital token that is stored on a blockchain, and that makes sure that in that building or on that floor, that 100 square feet of land is digitally belonging to you, then like you can be like easily sure, or you can be confident enough to invest in that property. So right now also virtual property concept is there, but people are not so confident and they are not so sure to invest into that uh, scenario. They are rather more interested into going into the outskirts of the city and taking that risk, and waiting for 20 years rather than getting immediate returns on a reliable property where you are sure that people will come and that property will be used and rent will surely be generated from that property. But the thing is that it is virtual. Like you cannot go and say that this 100 square feet belongs to me. So some 100 square feet of property can be yours, but you cannot vouch over, like you want to like rent it out to someone else. So that thing you cannot do, and therefore people are not confident enough, and they are not at least in India, people are not so confident to invest in such properties. But if NFTs and blockchain are incorporated in such a scenario, then real estate can benefit a lot, and common mass of public, those who want to invest in real estate but are not able to invest because their budget is low, so they can easily invest in such a scenario. So another important use case of NFT is non-fungible token is gaming industry. So I will give one real life example also of a game called as Teppen. So, but in general, like gaming NFTs are widespread within the gaming trade, since these tokens solve a number of internal difficulties. Like for example, like PUBG was a very world famous game, and Fortnite. So they ban the acquisition of rare options and things like weapons. So they have some avatars and they have some specific weapons which people have, and they have some specific value. So the gaming industry is converting those specific avatars or specific weapons into NFTs. So the thing with NFT is like a normal asset. If you have, if you purchased some sneakers or some shoes worth 5,000 rupees, and after 4 years, after you have used that product for 5 years, its value is negligible. No one will purchase it, and even if you sell it to someone, it will you will get only 400 rupees for it. And you like sell it after 5 years. You purchased it for 5,000 rupees, and you try to sell it after 5 years. So the value of that sneakers will be 10 times or 15 times much more. So based on that uniqueness and how you have used it, and who is the person who is using it, so that person gives the value to that product rather than the monetary value of the product itself. So these are some technical details of NFTs. So these are uniquely identifiable via code and metadata. So this is same as we do in blockchain. As in previous lecture, Raghu sir has already explained the basics of blockchain. So how we store transactions in blockchain, same way we create like hash values and of a particular, we create tokens and we store those tokens in blockchain via some smart contracts and some metadata. So these individual tokens have some valuable information stored in them, and these are also working as smart contracts only. So they hold a value primarily set by the market and demand. So they can be bought and sold just like other physical types of arts. So you can buy them online, you can sell them online. So it is a digital asset that represents real world objects like art, music, in-game items, some videos. They can be bought and sold online frequently using cryptocurrencies, and generally encoded with some underlying software. Like as different cryptocurrencies have some softwares, so similarly NFTs also have some softwares. So now this is another wonderful project, that is an NFT based project which has got a like $1 million funding. So like Solana is one of the blockchain, so they keep on conducting different hackathons. So you come up with your different ideas, different product ideas or projects, and you propose to them that you will create that particular product using their cryptocurrency, Solana. And if they like your idea, then they fund you to create that product sufficiently. They fund you sufficiently to create that product. And if that product goes live and that product people start using that product, then the value of cryptocurrency also increases, and you are the proprietary of that product. Whatever income is generated from that product will belong to you. But the benefit that funding agency or the cryptocurrency got is that because people started using that cryptocurrency due to your product, so therefore the value of cryptocurrency in USD increases. So it's a win-win solution for both the parties. So you are getting funded for developing your product, developing your idea, and if people start using your product, then you are generating a regular income. And on the other hand, the currency that funded you, they are also generating more income because people are using your product using their cryptocurrency. So therefore, like, it's not too difficult to get funding from these new cryptocurrencies. So there are multiple cryptocurrencies, they are funding like a very very hefty amount in their own cryptocurrencies, and that cryptocurrency has some particular value in USD. Some coin must maybe having one coin equal to 1.5 USD or 8 USD, and gradually the value keeps on increasing. So this is so I was telling that Solana, like, does hackathons on a regular basis, and different research organizations and different, like, industries also, like industrial projects or even individual freelancers also, they submit their ideas, and they have to give some POC of how that idea will work, and what will be the architecture of that product. And if they win that hackathon, then they get that funding. So that Stepan was one of the project that participated in that hackathon in 2021. So, and they won the hackathon and they got a lot of funding. So this is an NFT based project. It is a kind of gaming project, but not completely a gaming project. So if we understand what Stepan is and how Stepan is working, and another similar 2 3 examples more are there, which I will be explaining in the slides if time allows. So based on that, we can come up with different new ideas. Like, we need some, like, Kickstarter. Like, these ideas are like a Kickstarter, then they will motivate our mind. Like, we can also think of multiple ideas and we can approach together. Like, we can approach different cryptocurrencies and they can fund us, and we can start working with different students or different research organizations to develop those products using the funding coming from those cryptocurrencies. So what idea that Stepan came up with was a very 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 simple idea: motivation to walk. Like, we all know that it's a common fact throughout the world that people are ignoring their health. So walking is one of the, like, most basic activity that every doctor, like, unanimous, like, decision of any doctor, be it be allopathy or homeopathy or ayurveda, whatever, like, health condition you go with to some doctor, so they will ask you or they will recommend you to do some physical activity. Don't sit on the laptop for whole day. Like, uh, do some walking, do some jogging, at least half an hour. So what Stepan came up with an idea is that people are not having any motivation to walk. So it is built around an essential daily activity for most people: moving around. So Stepan gives a motivation to walk. So if you walk, then Stepan will pay you. So otherwise, no one is walking. So if people walk half an hour a day, there are certain rules, like, how to walk, where to walk. It's not that 24, like, someone is, like, not having a job, so he joins Stepan and he is walking 24 hours a day. So, and he's earning from Stepan. So that is not the case. There are certain rules. So therefore I told that it is kind of a game. But if you follow your daily routine and you walk for half an hour a day, or you jog or you run or you do some physical activity, and you are a part of Stepan project, you have that app installed, then the Stepan app pays you in that cryptocurrencies. So user has to equip themselves with NFTs in the form of sneakers. So this is the first like uh, monetary benefit to the company Steppen. Like they are selling sneakers. These are not physical sneakers that you can wear and walk. These are digital sneakers, which are not normal digital sneakers. These are NFT based digital sneakers. So like I was saying that uh, the product goes old, then value goes down, but that is not the case in these kind of sneakers. So if you purchased some sneakers which are NFT based sneaker from Steppen, so now you are eligible whenever you walk with the mobile in your pocket and you have purchased a sneaker. So if you walk 30 like half an hour, so those steps whatever activity you have done, so they are recorded in your app and you get paid for that much time of jogging or running. So different things have different amount, and there are multiple smart contracts within that application that calculate. Like people may cheat also. Like one of the case that happened was that someone tied the mobile phone with sneaker and with NFT around the neck of his pet dog, and like pet dog was running, and he was earning the coins. So different smart contracts have been created in Steppen, where you cannot actually cheat the product, and you have to actually walk or actually jog or actually run to earn the game currency. So currency can either be used inside the game. So inside the game you can purchase better sneakers. Better sneakers means better earning, or you can cash it out for profit. So it is a very simple idea. Everyone can use it. Like anyways people know the benefits of walking, benefits of jogging, but they are not doing it because they don't have any motivation. So if some motivation is given to the people to do this basic activity, so it can be a very beneficial from societal point of view also, and from company point of view also. Like the app is being used, so they are earning from different advertisements and all those things, plus they are selling the sneakers and they are earning money from those sneakers also. So this is a win-win solution for both the parties. So but it is dependent only on a single user activity, therefore it is a simple enough product project. So Steppen is dependent on single user activity only. So they are not looking for a group benefit. So there are some different more ideas. They are looking for a group benefit, like benefit of entire society at large, not only benefiting a single person, but benefiting like society at large, so that people are coming forward to help each other. Not only they are like just motivated to keep their own health good, but they are motivated enough to help each other and to make society a better place to live. So there are even much better ideas. So like there are kind of NGOs and different organization, those who are entering into NFTs and other technologies like blockchain and NFTs, and they are developing products which are supporting societal benefit also, and they are generating revenue also. So there are multiple ideas. Like I will keep more time for discussions. Like I will wind up in next 15 minutes. So next idea is help the needy. Like one organization came up with this idea for that hackathon only. Like I will just explain the idea in brief. Like help the needy. What does it say? Like while you travel in public transport, you use metro, you use different buses in India, abroad, everywhere. Like public transport is very commonly used. So you have might have seen in metro also, like government tries to do some help to the needy people. Like there are pregnant ladies are there, sick people are there, some old people are there, or physically challenged people are there. So they keep some corner seats for them, or they keep some extra wheelchairs for them. But still the problem is not like government cannot do everything. So ultimately the common public has to come ahead to help these needy people. So if common people are not motivated to help these people, then even if like government has made some arrangement, still like there is no check. Like if someone is sitting on the corner seat and some old person comes, and still that guy is not standing up, so like there is no way to like legally make him stand up and allow the pregnant lady or the old person sit. So the ideas of the government are applicable only when people at large are motivated enough to help those needy people. So a project can be developed or is being developed. There are some ideas that people are coming up with, like you motivate the common public. So only motivation left for a common mass of people today is monetary benefit. So if you give some monetary benefit to common mass of people, that if they help such people, if they help old age people, if they help sick people, or if they help pregnant ladies in different scenarios while traveling in public transport, so they will get some monetary benefit. Like Stepan was for individual, like if that individual walks, he will get the monetary benefit. But here, if that individual helps some other needy individual who is the part of that help the needy project, then he will get some monetary benefit. So it is one step ahead of Stepan. In Stepan, we are benefiting only ourselves, but in this project, we are helping the society at large, and we are, and that monetary benefit is not coming from that needy person. So the app or the product is not charging anything. So kind of it is kind of social service only for those two people, but the person who is helping, he is also getting some monetary benefit from the app itself, because he has purchased some NFT based there, like sneaker was there, so here it can be a white coat. So you have an NFT based white coat which declares you that you are the part of this help the needy proposal or help the needy movement, and you are helping the needy person and you are getting some monetary benefit. So these are more details of the help the needy idea. Another is idea that I have read for is the patient's coach. Like many times people in like metro cities, they know well that the doctors sitting in government hospitals, they are well qualified, and they are like the facilities in government hospitals are much more than private clinics, but still they prefer going to private clinics because the process itself to meet the doctor in a government hospital is so cumbersome. So you don't even understand, like once you enter the government hospital first time, so you don't even understand that how to like go through the entire process till the time you are able to actually see the doctor. So therefore they prefer paying more consultation fees and showing to a less qualified doctor, because the process is easy, rather than going for a like highly qualified doctor because the process is too difficult. And at the same time, there are many other people who are like sitting in the hospital. Like there are many chronic diseases, like people go for dialysis, people go for chemotherapy, and there are attendants of such patients. So they are whole day sitting in the hospital ideal, and they, because they are visiting the hospital every day, they know complete in and out of the hospital, so how the process works in the hospital. So if somehow we are able to motivate those idle sitting people who know complete in and out of the working of the hospital to help the newcomers, to help the patient who is coming for the first time to meet some doctor, and they can help them throughout the process of how they can meet the doctor, and the helping person gets some monetary benefit to do such an activity of helping the other person, then like it can be a like wonderful social activity, as well as it can be a wonderful product in itself. So this is the idea of patient's coach, which is different from help the needy. So these are the details of the patient's coach project, which like if someone is interested, then we can discuss further and we can work on it together. So, like now, leaving aside the NFTs, like there are some more ideas or proposals where we can work together that are related to core blockchain. Like in core blockchain, there are like you must be seeing that so many blockchains are coming up. So Polygon is there, Ethereum is there, Solana, as I have mentioned in hackathon, Solana is there, BSC is there. So right now the situation of the ecosystem of blockchain is such that there are different standalone chains, and they have their own customer base, they have their own people, who are dealing with that blockchain, and they are trading in that particular coin within that small group. So but gradually the need of inter chain communication is arising. So whenever a new chain comes into picture, so it has to communicate with different existing chains. So it has to communicate with Ethereum also, it has to communicate with Polygon also, it has to communicate with Solana also. So this is the major research issue, or major like practical issue which like blockchain ecosystem is facing today. So there are multiple chains, they are doing well, but ultimately they have to communicate with each other. So that communication is, there is nothing no product which is available which can easily help in communication between all the existing chains. So like we can see, bridging is possible, like you can create one-to-one bridge between all the chains. But if there are four existing chains and a fifth chain comes into picture, then you have to create five bridges, like one, two, three, four, like whatever existing number of chains are there. And if the number of chains goes on increasing, then you have to create so many number of bridges. So we can, like, this is more of a technical, the previous ideas were application based, but this is more into the systems based research. So if someone is interested, we can work in this direction also. I have some ideas like how we can work in inter-chain communication, so we can like discuss more in this direction. So what issues are coming due to this is, there is a discrepancy in cost, connectivity and value transfer. There is no clear and public record of all the transactions going through the bridges. As you know, that data on transit is always at risk. So similarly, any communication which is on transit is always at risk. So the project targets to propose a contract level using multi-directional bridges. So bridges are possible for sure, and these are there since 1 year or 2 year, but this is not a feasible solution as the number of chains are increasing. So we can use like different solutions to sort out these issues, and we can have some validators in between. A single new chain, a new single chain, like everyone is communicating via that chain. So but it will be again a centralized kind of system, so we have to sort it out, like how we can maintain decentralization also, and we can help in chain to chain communication also. So this is one of the idea. And another like interesting idea, we have one publication also in around this idea in IEEE transactions on intelligent transportation systems. So like it is around creating maps together. So building a free, incentivized, accurate and privacy preserving map together. So today everyone around the globe is unanimously using Google Maps for searching different locations and for searching different routes. So but Google Maps has different issues. So like Google Map API itself is charging a lot of amount from different organization. We feel that Google Maps is free, but actually it's not free. There is a certain limit of searches that you can do on Google Map, or limited number of times that you can use Google Map for free. But if some certain organization is using Google Map, some courier organization or some packers and movers are using Google Maps, so they have to pay a hefty amount. So if they have to inbuilt like integrate Google Maps API into their own application, so they have to pay hefty amount. And still, and since Google Map is the only proprietor of this like solution, so they are charging hefty amounts from different organizations. So using blockchain and using NFTs and using cryptocurrencies, we can develop a product where we can build our own free map. And Google Map is using users data only. Like user are those who have location is on, like in our mobile devices our location is on, and we are helping Google Maps to show accurate paths. So, and they are not incentivizing the user. If we use blockchain and we create a product around this, so then we can incentivize the users who are actually helping in creating those maps. And we can, like, it has a security issue also. Like, if there is some war, and US, like, who is main proprietor of Google, so they decide to shut down the map service in that particular country, then they can easily do it. So, and you cannot know anything in that country if the Google map is shut down. So we can create our own map, our own accurate, incentivized, and privacy preserving. So privacy is getting anchored. Like, Google always knows your location. Like, in your mobile device, if you are going from one place to another place using Google Maps, so Google always knows your location. So that is not privacy preserving. So we can, so there is, like, theoretically we have developed the complete idea and it is there in this paper, but practically, like, we can send it as a project proposal, we can get some funding, and we can start developing practically. So I have some ideas about how it can be done. Like, we can have high quality 4K cameras integrated with the car rear view mirror, and which will be used to, as the driver is going from one place to another, so that high quality cameras will record the maps and the routes, and that will be shared in the blockchain based networks in exchange of a cryptocurrency. So whoever is sharing that route from one location to another, so he will get some cryptocurrency. And as the application becomes old and more people start using it, so it will become more and more accurate, and it will be a free service for different users who want to use that mapping service. So these are some more draft ideas, which, like, property sales can be done based on NFTs, fractional property ownership can be done using NFTs, and mortgages, like, people take loans against their property, so that can be also incentive. Like, it can be regularized and it can be made more easy and more trustable and more, like, reliable procedure of giving loans and taking loans, if loan is taken against an NFT which is already having a token and which is already recorded on the blockchain. So this is all for today. So if there are some points of discussion, like, we can have. Otherwise, like, detailed discussion we can have offline, like one to one also. But a general discussion, like, around these ideas, like, we can have right now also.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can ask, please.
How is it different from blockchain? So, like I have discussed in the slide, like, blockchain is only a cryptocurrency which is replaceable. Like, it is a currency and you can replace it with any other currency. You can even convert it into US dollar, you can even convert it into INR. But NFT is non-fungible. So it is non-replaceable. So this is the major, so it has an economic as well as non-economic value associated with it. Rather, and blockchain or cryptocurrency has only economic value. So in detail, like, we can discuss. So especially, like, as Raghu sir told, so the research scholars who have not yet finalized their research direction, like, they can choose any of these directions as a direction for their, like, PhD research also. So it can gradually develop into a very interesting thesis also. So in detail we can discuss offline also if someone wants.
Sir, I have one question. In
Yes,
the
ma'am.
last idea, you had discussed about this maps, how the
Yes.
privacy is preserved. Can you
Mm,
throw a light on that?
yeah, privacy is preserved in a scenario like, Google is taking the location without any, like, you have to forcibly give the location to Google. Like, if you want to use the Google Maps, then you have to keep your location on, and you have to, like, it's a two-way communication. that Google follows. Like if you want to take data from Google, then you have to give data also. So there is no proposal that you just take data from Google, you take the route from Google, but you don't tell your location. But that proposal is there if we create our own maps. Like you just want to support the system, and then you have to share your location. But if you want to just use the maps, then you can pay for the service and you can use the maps, but we don't need your location all the time. And at least forcibly we are not using your location. If we are using your location, we are incentivizing you. So even if like privacy is not fully preserved, but still for sharing your location you are getting monetary incentive. So that is one of the attractive feature of this idea, which is not there in Google. So Google is not incentivizing anyone for sharing their location or helping Google to develop accurate maps.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
If anybody has any other question, please ask.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. So this is Imani.
Yeah.
Sir, what are the security aspects of NFTs?
Security aspect in terms of?
So as you said, I asked about how it is different from blockchain.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, what are the security aspects of NFTs?
Like NFT is using blockchain only in the background. So whatever security features that blockchain provides, and the same security features are provided by NFTs also. So it is only an additional step over blockchain. So ultimately the tokens, like non-fungible part is different, but the token part of NFT, so that token part is stored in blockchain only, and it is same tamper free, like it is like transparent, it is publicly available, but no one can force that token. So all that security aspects, that token belongs to you and it is a unique token. So there cannot be multiple copies of that token also. So no one can come and say that no. Like recently I heard some news in India, like someone sold a same piece of land to 37 different people in like one city in India only. So like no one knew, like he sold the same piece of land to 37 different like customers, and then no one knows that where that person is. So that uniqueness cannot be forced. So if that piece of, if that that is non-replaceable basically. So if it belongs to you, it belongs to you, and there is no other copy of that item or that product. So therefore, like it has an extra security layer of non-replaceability, plus whatever security features are there in blockchain, they are already there in NFTs also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I think no. Okay, thank you, Dr. Vikas, for sparing time for your busy schedule and enlightening us with your knowledge. You explained so nicely through real life examples and discussed a lot of project ideas.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, I think the participants will take a note and work further. Thank you
Okay,
once again. So
thank you
please
everyone.
switch on your cameras
Thank you, sir.
so that we can have a nice click with our speaker. All of you are requested to please switch on your cameras. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please switch on your cameras so that we can capture the nice memories. I'm waiting for others. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vikas sir, once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we will meet again at 10 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.